Hi there. I am here. Claudia. She's one of my Integral Yoga. She has actually been teaching here. We're in the Integral Yoga Institute in San Francisco. Been here since 1999, yeah?
Yeah.
And I've only known her for the past 4 years since she's been back and teaching. Um, and she's also a yoga therapist right here in San Francisco. So honored to get to have you here and getting to do the reading with me. This is from The Golden Present. Get the glare there. Daily Inspirational Readings by Sri Swami Satchidananda. And we're both going to read for February 25th. And part of the practice is we just open to the date and then start to read. So I let Claudia know that was the plan. She was totally game, which I'm happy. So we'll read it and then share spontaneously. The topic is the physical is limited. What you call the spiritual master or teacher or guru is not the person. The guru is eternal. The guru's inspiration, the guru's force, the guru's divine energy, the guru's vibration will always be there directing you. The help that can be given through the physical body is limited. On the spiritual level, the guru can help you much more. Always try to communicate at that high level. In your practices, in your meditation, you should learn to communicate with the spiritual part of the guru.
The Guru need not constantly give you blessings and teaching. If you are ready to receive it, even he cannot stop it. The more you follow the teachings, the more you have the Guru's presence and communicate with the Guru. The teaching is the Guru. The teacher is only a vehicle.
If I am giving a talk, I am the one who is speaking, not the microphone. But you hear the talk through the microphone, through the speakers. The real speaker is the spiritual part that simply functions through this machine. For some time you might need the speaker, but you shouldn't depend on that always. Learn to receive the message without the help of any machines. That way you can have the guru with you always. So even this computer screen that's looking at you right now with our faces, this is just the object. This is just the machine that's saying to you, but I think what it's saying in here is honoring the messages even coming through us, coming through the machine, coming to the person, not being dependent on that one person, I guess.
What comes to my mind was that since I practice yoga and especially coming, whatever reason, into integral yoga, that I always had problems with this guru idea, with this one person. And I think one reason why I got stuck with yoga, thank God, was this idea that I found so incredible empowering that the answer is within myself, and I just have to unravel and unveil all the layers that covers it up to come back to that. And so I understand that teachers can be helpful. I personally always felt that there's a multitude of people that I find inspiring and helpful to guide me. It was never just this one person. So and it kind of is what it says. So I kind of always was a little bit at struggle with the tradition of yoga, which is so based on the guru disciple tradition. So I can't really make a rational point of it either, that I say and here's the argument why that is so. It was just always something that rang true to me, that it needs to come from my core, and other people can just help me to unravel that.
No, I like that. It's a beautiful way to understand it, and that's because there was some faith or some trust that resource was there, whereas there's some people who they don't have that inside them. They may need that outside thing for a certain period to help remind them but somehow maybe you were reminded, and it was just very readily available. It reminds me of how I feel about Swami Satchidananda, because you, I guess, did you get to meet him? Or would you have been...
Once from far away.
Okay. But you were around in his presence, while he was still in his body, whereas I never got to meet him or be around him. But his teachings are so, they have such an impact on me that his teachings are still coming to me. His, what did it talk about? The Guru's vibration, the Guru's divine energy, his guidance, inspiration, the force. I feel like that's all there because I never had the individual Swami Chidananda from. So it just came through as this ever presence that helps to wake me up. So much that I'm enjoying doing these readings from this book, right? But there's the idea that the teacher is only, a vehicle. So I like how you're talking about this, that essentially there's the awakening is within us, each and every one of us.
And actually the awakening just to what was there already to begin with, because that's what the teacher, right? Don't get me wrong, I love the teachings that he passed on, and the knowledge that I have about the way he led his life, and being this peace apostle, and coming up with this idea of faith and the yantra that we have with the religions and all the paddles. That was definitely something when I came here where I was kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm home, because finally somebody could express what I always believed in.
Right. I felt
so I was attracted to the yantra right from the beginning, and so I do have this deep gratitude towards this man who, formed the organization, and somehow crazy hippies bought this building and it's still here.
Right.
It's, and it's oasis of a spiritual practice within a city that becomes much more materialistic lately. Yeah. And so I have this deep gratitude, and yet I can say, like there were always a multiple teachers that I related to. But I very much also like what you said about, I think you do need the trust, and maybe I was blessed with that trust. I always had faith that I could do it, that I eventually will get there, or eventually will understand, or whatever it was about. So maybe that's what I see in people, because I am very touched when I hear Swami Ramananda or other Swamis talk about him and the way daily life was with Swami Satchidananda. It's like sometimes I feel this jealousy. I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, right. I wish I had that love and that dedication. How much support that must that be? Where sometimes I feel almost lonely. I'm kind of like, oh, and I don't have that.
But I think what you're saying, and I agree with you in this, but what you have is this understanding that there are many teachers that have helped to awaken what is, kind of, to reference Swami Satchidananda one more time, though, is the undoing, of some of these things that have caused us to shield or wrap up whatever that we need to unwrap. But that there are many teachers who have helped bring that information to you, or helped highlight what is possible within you. And I do feel the same way, because I also love the yantra that's Integral Yoga's symbol, which I wonder if I can show it to you.
I don't know.
Oh, there's one there.
Oh. I don't know if that's very visible.
You go close.
So it has the religion and the yet to be found religions in all the paddles.
Yeah.
So it's just standing for the idea that choose is one, for many.
What I think it's what that main slogan drew me into. Paths, and I feel like I have gone many paths, to find what was true and to find myself. And the way that Swami Satchidananda gathered the words and the wording and the idea was also gathering from other people's. Swami Shivananda, Sri Aurobindo. I mean, this was, not just one person, not just one teacher. It's this collection that keeps adding to the grand mix.
And I think that keeps everybody humble, because they're just one of many paths.
Yeah.
And that's what really fosters acceptance of different approaches, which is at the very, very heart of yoga practice and yoga. So his teachings are beautiful. And I just never personally could embrace this one guru, but I think you also have to know somebody personally. I'm not quite sure if that is something, because everybody I talk to that feels to their core a disciple, they just talk about like what happened to them when they were first time in his company and in his presence, and that is a feeling, a tangible feeling that I just don't have.
Right.
So maybe I would have acted similar, that
Right.
maybe I would be a disciple down to my heart had I had that experience. So to me, it's still a little theoretical, where I'm kind of like, I guess.
I mean, I guess the more we're talking now that I'm understanding this, and it's going over my time limit that I wanted to do, but that's my doing and my undoing. That I too don't have that first-hand guru experience with Swami Satchidananda, but understand that it's more the way, I guess you are in a way, that it's this collection of all these different teachers that I don't know if I would call them my guru, but they're definitely my teacher. And gurus don't even call themselves their guru, a guru, right? It's like the people who learn from them, they call them, that's guru. They're not like, I'm your guru. They're just being them. Anyway, I don't remember.
Much could be said.
Yeah, and so much. There's the word guru is put in here so many times. I haven't read one that was so guru focused, but the idea of like what's really at the source is this goes to the heart of a source that's kind of a divine source, not a human, not one person who's trying to be the one with all the answers. There isn't one like that I know of. There's someone who's maybe channeling wisdom, and there are people who are channeling non-wisdom in the world. So the physical is limited. So it's saying either go within like you've practiced, or find some spiritual awareness. Okay, thank you, Claudia.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, thank you for sharing your wisdom and being part of this. And there's many more months to go, so I hope that we bring Claudia back. You'll be willing, and we'll see you tomorrow.